We're starting things off with some unbleached all-purpose flour, because who wants to eat bleach? And a pinch of pink Hemi and a stick of cold cube butter. Go on in there with your fingers and start mashing it all together till it starts to form a wet, sandy consistency. Now, the only difference between quiche crust and pie crust is we're using ice water instead of buttermilk. That's it. This makes it more crumbly rather than flaky. Form your dough, then flatten and plastic wrap it for a rest in the fridge. While that's doing, let's flour our cutting board. And this is when we add our fresh cracked black pepper and some fresh thyme shake. I dried out this fresh bundle to shake on lots of different recipes. It's so lemony and wonderful. After about an hour, we'll pull it out of the fridge and introduce it to this mix. Roll it on out, and look how pretty it is. But these aromatics won't get lost. They'll enhance the flavors of our filling. We poke holes to let it vent, and then use your fork to smear it against the rim of your dish. Go on top of it with some parchment paper and find something to weigh it down. This way it'll keep the crust from rising during our blind bake. When your crust gets lightly browned, it's ready for whatever filling you've been hankering.
All right, y'all, now that we got that pie crust ready, we're gonna start on our filling. I'm gonna caramelize me some onions and do up a little ham, and of course we're gonna put that Cabot cheddar cheese in there.
I'm wanting to keep the ingredients few, so the sharpness of the Cabot cheddar really shines. I'm thinking just ham and onions, but rather than raw onions, I know some caramelization will complement our Cabot quiche perfectly. You'll want a thin slice, 2 or 3 sweet onions. I'm doing a lot more for something I got going on here in a couple days, but we're going to go ahead and sweat these down in a skillet and keep the heat low and turn these onions every now and again so they'll brown, not burn. Once they got a little color to them, we're going to go in with some fresh crushed garlic. And once they've reached this color here, we're going to start building our quiche. Grab a block of your sharp Cabot cheddar, and we're going to grate this directly into the bottom of our crust. And then add your ham and then our onions. In the past, when I've had quiche, I like it creamy rather than a big old eggy omelet tasting thing. So what I do is go 1 less egg and a little bit more cream. Go on in with your favorite seasoning. I do Lowry seasoning salt, and we're going to whip it up so we can smother all these bits of goodness. Oh. Well, fill her on up. Don't be scared. And then we're going to toss it in that preheated hot box until it looks about like that right chow. Now, there's nothing wrong with a little jiggle. You know, that bounce back. Let's garnish with some chives and then take a big old plug out. Y'all get in here close for the Cabot quiche inspection. Well, that looks good enough to eat, but we're going to holler at Sweet Cozy